Hey doing everybody, it's Wednesday, back out smashing trails, and thought I'd stop for a few minutes and talk a little bit about one of my favourite traps. This is a trap that, when it comes to trapping's a weird one, because you got to kind of start with the micro trapping, aim small, miss small, use that small game, capture big game, and all the stuff that goes with that. But trapping, especially primitive trapping, can be a bit difficult at times because you could be tired, you could be hungry. The figure 4 is a great one because it requires no cordage, but it does require an awful lot of dexterity and stuff, even with practice. If you're tired and you're hungry and stuff, it can be a bit fiddly. Plus, when you're outside, the way I look at it is survival is what needs to happen now, bushcraft is what happens later. So when you're out and you want to trap, you're looking for traps that you can use with the stuff that you got on you, that you can put a lot down in a quick space of time. I usually give myself 30 minutes to an hour, because after that you're kind of burning into other things to do, collecting firewood, preparing meals, foraging, etc, etc. So I thought I'd show a quick trap that would use things that are in most people's kit, doesn't require much work with tools, so there's no risk of cutting yourself, and one that you could put a lot of across a game trail or along a riverbed, or scatter around the place and try and capture some small game, and doesn't require so many moving parts, in fact no moving parts. So yeah, stick around for that one, and I'd love to know what you're thinking, as always, because I've got so many young followers and this goes out on so many platforms like YouTube and my Instagram and so on and so forth. Always practice your traps safely, always practice them responsibly, do not leave them out in the woods, and always take care of Mother Nature. Let's get to it. So there you have it, guys. That was shot in almost real time. What we talking, 5 minutes thereabouts. It's a really simple trap, and that's why I like it, because it doesn't require an awful lot of dexterity, and then you can use most of the stuff that's in your kit to make these really quick. I use the 6-foot utility cord, which I carry for emergency purposes in my pockets.
that 6 foot of paracord gave me 7 strings, which in turn gave me 7 traps that I could put along a riverbed, or if I see animal scat and stuff around the place, they can put it there. And I'll just show you really quickly, because this trap actually comes from line catching birds for pate and stuff like that. So you can see here, you just have to put a stake in the ground. The stake has to be strong enough to capture whatever animal you want to be, and you can upscale this to game, and that's what I like about it. You can make it for various animals really quick, unlike say like the figure 4 and stuff like that, which you have to find deadfalls and hope animals get under it. And it's also great for micro trapping. I just use the paracord strand on a simple overhand loop, and then for the sake of demonstration purposes, I just carved some quick toggles here. But you could use thorns off bushes or fish hooks, which most people carry, like myself. On longer expeditions, I like to carry my hobo reel with me and stuff, which I carry size 10 hooks and size 12 hooks in. And size 10 hooks will capture most fish and most small game. So you would take your cord, which is staked into the ground, and you would bait it, like the way I have here, with maybe one hook, a piece of food, one hook, so on. Keep it baited, and the idea is the animal comes along, gobbles it up, walks along, gobbles it up, it's swallowing the string, and it's also swallowing the pieces with the hook. It goes to try and move, and that's all bound up in its stomach, especially birds, and then it's held there on your stake until you get it. And like I said, this is actually, sadly enough, one of the ways in which they farm line caught birds for meat, for high-end food, and it works really effectively. You can use corn and everything else. So the idea behind it is to get people thinking that this is a really simple trap that can work pretty effectively. You can hear the wood pigeons and the owls in the trees up above me. If I had some corn or some trail mix, I could put 7 of these, or if I had enough, maybe 14 of these within an hour, all along a river or all along a trail, and the chances of me catching something really small, some micro game, are pretty high. And then it doesn't take up too much time, because that's the important thing. I always try and condense stuff down. Survival is what needs to happen now. Bushcraft is stuff that happens later. So I time myself to, within an hour, how much can I do, and within an hour, with the resources that I have available to me, this is usually the best trap that I can come up with. And I mean, I'm no expert trapper, and like I said at the start of the video, always practice trapping responsibly. This will all be discarded away before I go home. Don't leave any of these out. Trapping is illegal in most of, or if not all of the world. You know what I mean? Anyway, mainly Europe, primitive trapping in any form. So hopefully that'll help you kind of start seeing whatever trap you want to kind of do. Just look at it and how much time and how much energy it's going to take, because for the amount of time that you're putting these into the ground, you're having to stay stationary, you're having to stay at a camp, and you're also having to take away time from maybe foraging for actual food off trees, maybe medicine, maybe performing a bit of self-aid, setting up camp, collecting firewood. So time is always important, and this is one of the really quick, really fast traps to cover a large area of ground. I hope that helps some. If anybody has any questions or any idea for like kind of quick traps along those lines, I'd love to see them, because I'm always fascinated by traps, even though I don't get the chance to practice them as much as I would like. But this is it's a really nice trap. So there you go. Hope everybody has a good Wednesday. As always, peace from your brother in the woods.